Penny Hobson Boyd, who's one of our nursing assistants, a CNA in our office. Just like a lot of people this year, she had a bad year too. She lost her mother just a few months ago, and in the course of going through things to get the funeral arrangement made, she discovered a song that she had written years ago when she lost more of her family members. And I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let Penny share that with you. But Penny Hobson Boyd actually wrote this song, and our chaplain in the Yadkin office, otherwise known as the Dream Team, is going to sing this song. So this is an original, you all. So Penny, if you'll come up and tell us your story.
In leading up to writing the song, January the 14th in 1978, tragedy struck my family. I had 3 sisters as well as 2 of our neighbors. It was on an ice-covered pond, and the weight of it, they had all gotten a circle, and the weight of it caused them to go under. And they, of course, are in heaven. It was very hard, still hard, to deal with at times. My mom and dad, they leaned on God. They were good Christian people. My mom, she taught Sunday school. My dad was a deacon at the church. So they leaned on the Lord, and me and my brother, not so much. We went the opposite way. I turned to drugs, marijuana, cocaine, Quaalude, speed, you name it, I did it. Tempting God to take me too. I would drink beer and chase it with liquor. There was many, many times that I got home and don't even remember how I got there. And there were times my mom would be in the kitchen ironing, and when she would see me come through the door, just a sigh of relief on her face. She never said a word. She was just so relieved that I was home. Then, one morning, I woke up in a hospital room, flat on my back, looking straight up. Not remembering how I got there. IVs run to me, oxygen tube. And it's like the Lord said, Penny May, what do you think you're doing? You are not to question what I do. For everything I do for a reason. You are not to tempt me. Who do you think you are? Well, I had a hiatal hernia, and it had cut my oxygen off, and I nearly died. They'd run all kinds of tests on me. And to this day, I still have that as a reminder. You do not tempt God. Everything he does for a reason. And now I look now and I see why God spared me. I work with fantastic people. I take care of people. And that's just food for my soul. So when I did get to go home, and of course this went on for 2 years, the drugs, the alcohol. And so when I finally went home, there was no more drugs, no more alcohol, no more staying out late, and I always knew how to get home. And Mom never had to stay out and wait on me to get home. And one night I was laying in the bed, trying to sleep. These words kept coming into my head, just over and over and over, and it's like the Lord said, get up and write this down. So I did. I got up and I wrote it down as fast as I could. And it was a song. It ended up being a song. And I gave my mom a copy of it. And Miss Helen Church, some of you may have heard of Miss Helen Church, she put it into sheet music for me. And I have forgot all about it. This is like 1980 up until July the 18th of this year when the Lord called my mom home. My best friend. And I miss her. But I know she's home. She's in her real home. And her real life has begun. She's with God and she's with my sisters. But she told me several times, Penny, when the Lord calls me home, my funeral arrangements are in my Bible. She told me that several times, and I finally said, okay, Mom, I know your funeral arrangements are in your Bible. Well, the day after she passed away, I went to the home and went through her Bible from front to back, from back to front. No funeral arrangements. Looked through her little secret pockets. No funeral arrangements. And this sheet of paper just comes sliding out. And I opened it up, and it was that song that I had written. So we Ended up having a beautiful funeral for my mother, and my husband read the song as a poem. And so I went to work one day and I passed them out on people's desks. I thought they might get a blessing out of it. Mark wasn't satisfied with that.
Penny's song is called When My Real Life Has Begun. When they carry me away and they place me in the grave, don't you weep or cry for me. Up in heaven I will be, walking on the streets of gold, talking to the saints of old. When my life on earth is done and my real life has begun, I'll leave nothing here behind, no more pain of any kind, no more trials, no more tears, no more sorrow, no more fears, and forever I shall be with the one who died for me. When my life on earth is done and my real life has begun. When my life on earth is done and my real life has begun, I will live eternally with my God and family. We'll sing and shout around the throne, Amazing Grace will be the song when my real life has begun. As Jesus walked this earth with man, he knew God had made a plan. He'd shed his blood for you and me upon that cross of Calvary. As he looked to heaven above, he heard God say to him with love, your life on earth, my son, is done. Now your real life has begun. When my life on earth is done and my real life has begun, I will live eternally with my God and family. We'll sing and shout around the throne, Amazing Grace will be the song when my real life has begun. When my real life has begun.